scare me, but you should fear me. The sun is setting, don't trust your hearing. You made a monster, I'm your imposter. Go ahead and wander, but don't trust the water.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another true crime video, and we are going to be doing the story of Courtney Pieters. Now, if you're new to the channel, I try to do these videos every single week, so definitely check out the playlist. I've done a couple already, and I will be doing more in the near future. So for today's video, I do have a disclaimer. I will be sharing a story that is rather traumatic that has to do with the child. So if you know that you cannot stomach this type of content, kindly click off this video and check out my other videos that do not deal with such. Now, without wasting any more time, let's dive into today's video. Today's video takes us to the Western Cape, to an informal suburb named Elsis River in Cape Town, where Courtney Pieters was born on the 4th of September of 2013 to mother Yonette Pieters, who was a cashier at Hungry Lion, and father Aaron Fourie, who worked at one of the factories in Cape Town. Although her parents were not legally married, they had been together for many years, to an extent of which they had 3 other kids, the oldest being 21. They had a 16-year-old as well as a 6-year-old son, whose name was Adrian. In Elsis River, they stayed in a house that belonged to Courtney's father's family. So in essence, the house was a communal home because his extended family had access to the house. The house was a double-story. It had a Wendy house right in front as well as a couple of back rooms. In the main house, they lived alone. Aaron, the father, Yonette, the mother, Courtney, as well as the little brother. The 2 older siblings were no longer living at home. In the Wendy house that stood right in front of the main house, Courtney's father's niece stayed there. Her name is Marsha Wen. Marsha lived in the Wendy house with her 2 kids, one who was in primary school and the other who was just a few months old at the time. Right behind the house, there was a back room where Mortimer Saunders rented. Mortimer was a 40-year-old man who was very close friends with Courtney's father. He worked at a call center at the V&A waterfront, and he was considered to be part of the family. And around this time, he had stayed at the family home for over 2 years. Though Mortimer was extremely close with Aaron, the father, he did not really get along with Yonette, Courtney's mother, and the 2 would occasionally argue with one another, with Yonette sometimes feeling like Mortimer would cross the line of tenant a couple of times and basically making them feel a little bit uncomfortable around the house. However, he was really loved by the kids, and not just Courtney and the 6-year-old brother, but the neighbors' kids as well. And one of the main reasons they loved him so much is because he had DSTV in his bedroom and would allow the kids to watch some cartoons, and they really enjoyed that. Courtney Pieters was 3 years old in 2017 and was not attending school yet, and the 6-year-old brother was also not in school in May of 2017. So the kids stayed at home. What the mother would do is she would pay the niece who stayed in the Wendy house to babysit them while she went to work, and she normally left around 7 a.m. and came back at 4 p.m. However, when money was tight, she would leave them together. Courtney and her 6-year-old brother would take care of one another. And she would rest assured at least that there are always people around the yard. And Marsha, even on days that she wasn't paid, she would occasionally go inside the house and go check on the kids. So the setup of the house was like this. Everyone in the yard shared one toilet and one bathroom, meaning Marsha and her kids in the Wendy house and the people that stayed in the back rooms all shared the one toilet and the one bathroom that was in the upstairs of the main house. So this meant that the main house was always open to allow everyone access to the toilet as and when they needed it. On Thursday, the 4th of May 2017, Yonette and her husband Aaron prepared for work in the morning as per usual. Aaron, who was working in one of the factories in Cape Town, left first, and Courtney's mother would stay around a little bit to prepare some porridge and sort out everything for them before she left. Unfortunately, on this day, she didn't have money to pay Marsha to look after the kids, but wasn't really worried like I've mentioned earlier on, because on days that she didn't have money, she normally left 3-year-old Courtney and her 6-year-old brother together, and they would look after one another. Marsha, even on the days that she wasn't paid, she was willing to occasionally come inside the house and check on them to make sure that everything was fine, and if she needed to make them food, she would do so. But she later explained that she did not dedicate her whole day to them as she would if she was paid. So Yonette gave the kids porridge and left for work. A few minutes after Courtney's mom left for work, Mortimer went inside the house to use the bathroom as he normally did and saw the kids watching TV. It's important to note that inside the main house, they did not have DSTV, they just had normal SABC, 1, 2, and 3, and ATV channels. When Mortimer went back to his room after using the bathroom, 3-year-old Courtney decided to follow him because she remembered, oh, Mortimer is DSTV, so let me follow him. I want to go watch there rather. So remember, this is still not out of the ordinary because the kids normally watch TV in Mortimer's room. However, it was later revealed that when Courtney got to the room on this particular morning, Mortimer was irritated by her. And these were the words that he used. He told Courtney to leave his room as he wanted to sleep and come back later. So Courtney went back into the main house and watched TV some more with the little brother. However, if you know toddlers, then you will know that they do not understand the concept of time. So 5 to 10 minutes later, little Courtney went back to Mortimer's room to try again. And I completely understand this. Toddlers are toddlers, guys. So it's just normal. That is just how toddlers operate. However, when Courtney returned to his room the second time, Mortimer could just not handle it. He later mentioned that he got so irritated by this 3-year-old who woke him up, and also compounded by the fact that he had ill feelings towards her mother. He was just at the end. He got extremely, extremely angry with her. Now, while all of this was happening, Marsha, the niece, who stayed in the Wendy house, woke up and walked her oldest daughter to a primary school nearby. And then when she got back to the Wendy house, she fed her little baby. And at 8 a.m., she went inside the main house for the first time that morning. When she walked into the house, she saw Adrian, the 6-year-old brother, watching television by himself. She then asked him, "Where is Courtney?" He replied that she was watching TV in Uncle Morty's room. She nodded and proceeded to do whatever she came to do inside the house. And later, when she noticed that Courtney wasn't back yet, she started to call out her name just to check if she really was in Morty's room. Courtney, Courtney. Please kindly note that this video is 2 parts, and I will have part 2 linked in the description box of this particular video, or you can just go to the playlist and find it. It's gonna be right immediately after this one.